And this great momentum, try to let it crystallize in our hearts and also push us forward for the next 150 years. Where are we going to be in 150 years? That's powerful. If you heard Tim's story about this message, you know that Reconstruction, just imagine the post-traumatic stress of people who live in Vicksburg. Just imagine what all they have lost. Just imagine the normalcy that they had that had been either bombed or shelled or a lost loved one. And even in the midst of that contention and that pain and that sorrow, our forefathers and foremothers, we're saying, put forward a great notion. Now, I know we live in troubled times. They call us the sorted people, where we are sorted out. We're sorted out either in a red camp or a blue camp or a SEC football camp. We're sorted people, and we live in contentious times. Negativity does boil over our beautiful land. But in no way was their time worse than ours, and they put forward this wonderful offering. So tonight we have Bishop Keith Sloan, who grew up in this parish, who went to Mississippi State, served all over Mississippi, served in Alabama, is now the 11th and current Bishop of Alabama. What's your retire date?
End of this year.
End of this year. So it's powerful to have a homeboy come back. I want to present something to Bishop Sloan, if I can. A few months ago, we were at the bell tower, looking at it, making sure it's okay, and I saw this name etched in the bell tower, S-L-O-A-N. And I'm not sure if you did this.
Oh yeah, they're guilty.
Yes.
No comment.
So,
That's me.
yes. Beautiful. So, Bishop Sloan will share his thoughts, and then we'll gracefully, as you gracefully move in here, move back to the round tables for Andy Taggart and Jerry Nash to bring us through. And our promise is that at 7:45 we'll be saying the closing prayer and leaving with a party gift, okay? You're all getting a party gift tonight, all right? So just hang on for that. So, Bishop Sloan, welcome.
It does say Sloan, and it says right here 72. I graduated from high school in 73. In the Catechism of the Church, in the back of the book, if you ever find yourself in the middle of a long sermon that doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon, this is interesting reading toward the back of the book, the Outline of the Faith. And it's in a question and answer form, and one of the questions, a set of the questions has to do with the church. And the question is asked, what is the mission of the church? What are we supposed to be doing? And the answer is, the mission of the church is to restore all people to unity with God and each other in Christ. Restore all people to unity with God and with each other. This business about reconciliation is at the heart of who we are and at the heart of what we're supposed to be doing. And now we have been around for a long time. We've been open for business for about 20 centuries. And you have to wonder, how are we doing? How are we doing restoring all people to God and all people to each other? Like a lot of people, I have become obsessed with watching the news. It seems like almost a national pastime now. You can usually determine how the conversation is going to go with somebody and figure out what channel they watch on TV. Somebody on my channel said that this was the most divided this country has ever been. And I think we just kind of like hyperbole, and we like to be the best or the worst or the fastest or the slowest or the biggest or the smallest. Well, that's not true. We did have a civil war. I lived through the 60s, in which people were assassinated and students were shot. But we are more divided than we need to be. So where is the church, whose mission is to restore all people to God and to one another? What are we doing? Not enough. I was in seminary with a guy who played badminton. He didn't just play badminton in the backyard. I mean, he played badminton competitively. He was on his college badminton team. Yes, they have a college badminton team at William & Mary. And they won the national championship or got close to it, and he was tried out for the Olympic badminton team. As serious as you can be about badminton, my friend Wayne was real serious about badminton. But it never rose to the oomph that we enjoy down here when we come to college athletics. I don't know if Ole Miss has a badminton team or Mississippi State has a badminton team. If they do, I never have noticed. For a while there, I was chaplain at Ole Miss. As Andy said, I went to Mississippi State. I became the chaplain at Ole Miss. The second Bishop Gray asked me if that was okay for a state man to go to Ole Miss like that. And I told him that if Jesus could hang out with tax collectors and prostitutes for 3 years, I could.
Yes, yes, yes. Amen.
I thought that was pretty clever. He didn't think that was clever. Part of the deal was that people would give me tickets to some of the football games. So I went to Mississippi State, and I don't really care that much about Ole Miss football, but it was nice to have a ticket to the Egg Bowl, see? And I would go and sit in the stands, and sometimes my tickets would be on the Ole Miss side, which was kind of uncomfortable, and sometimes it was on the Mississippi State side, which was louder. Until I realized that I just hate those people. All those people wearing the wrong colors. And just waves of hate coming across the football field. And that's why we pay attention to college football and don't even know whether Ole Miss has a badminton team or not. Because you just can't work up a real hatred for somebody over a badminton game. But if we could, oh boy, if we could, we would just hate each other. Because we like to hate each other. When I was in college, when I was at Mississippi State, the girl that I had been dating for some time dumped me. I was a recent graduate from Mississippi State. I wore overalls most of the time. My hair was kind of almost down to my shoulders, and I was pretty grubby. And the girl that I was dating, a summer camp romance that just didn't end, She was in one of the sororities at Ole Miss, and she was really, really a beautiful girl. And her sorority sisters thought that she could do better, and that she should do better. And they talked to her for a while, and she decided that they were probably right, and so she dumped me. I thought she was the love of my life at the time. I hadn't met my wife yet. I went to Camp Bratton Green, which has been a big part of my life, the Episcopal Church camp, north of Canton. And one of the guys there that worked there took out the trash and cut the grass, named Jimmy Lee Washington. I wrote a book about Jimmy Lee Washington. He saw me and saw that I was kind of deflated. Now, Jimmy Lee was a very spiritual man, but a very colorful speaker, and an alcoholic, and an uneducated man, but he walked with God every day. He saw that I was upset, and he said, I'm going to clean this up because we're church folks. He said, what the heck is wrong with you? And I was 19 years old, and I lied to him because that's what 19-year-olds do. I said, nothing. And he said, baloney. Something similar. And I said, she dumped me. And he said, it's about darn time. And that kind of hurt my feelings. And I was kind of starting to really get into a major sulk. And he tapped me on the chest and he said, look, you, the way God sees us, ain't nobody no better than you. Well, all right. It doesn't matter whether she's in a sorority or... Well, all right. Nobody's any better than me. I kind of stood up a little taller and he said, and you ain't no better than nobody else. There's an awful lot of gospel in that. We like to hate each other. We like to choose up teams. We like to have people that we can feel better than. People of a different religion. People of a different race. People of a different culture. Because we can pretend that we are better than them. But the truth of it is that all of us, every one of us, is a child of God. And all of us, every one of us, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Not because of our accomplishments, not because of our bank account, not because of our political affiliation, not because of how big our house is or how fast our car goes, but because we are children of God. I think that the reason that college football is so important to so many of us is because we get to choose up sides without being guilty about it. And we can hate our rivals. And as long as that is fun, then I think it's wonderful. Do you know that football started off as a game? It was something that young men mostly did just for the fun of it. And look where we have brought it now. Did you know that politics started off as a way to serve your community? And to seek the common good? And look what we have done to it now. I don't think these are the darkest days in the history of this country, but they're plenty dark. And it is easy for us to be divided. In fact, we are eager to be divided. All the people who watch Fox News sit over there. All the people who watch CNN and MSNBC sit over here. And we can just throw things at each other for the rest of the night. Throw words at each other. And they don't have to mean anything other than we are better than you. I graduated from Mississippi State in 1976. I went up north to school for seminary in Sloan, Tennessee. While I was there, I began to hear about the dreaded general ordination exam, which comes halfway through your senior year. Back then, it was sort of a comprehensive exam, and if you flunked your GOEs, it was the end of your career before you even started. And we were all scared of the GOEs. Well, I have always taken tests fairly well, and I have sort of a certain gift with Blarney, I think. And the time came for me to take my GOEs, and I relied a little bit more than I should have on that Blarney, and assumed that the reader of all this stuff would have a good sense of humor, which was a mistake. There are 7 areas of the GOEs. I failed 5 of them and was provisional in either church history or Old Testament, and outright passed the other one. The results came. I kind of went into shock and closed myself in my room, and eventually somebody came and told me that the priest I'd been doing field work with was there to see me. He took me out to have oysters and beer and convinced me that I needed to call my bishop. I would have rather done anything than call my bishop. So I had to be examined by the examining chaplains, and they made me read a couple books and write a couple papers, and it all worked out. But for the longest time, that was sort of the most shameful, difficult thing, the most conspicuous failure of my life. And I understood that the GOEs were designed by and maintained by a priest in Alabama whose name was Emmett Gribben. And I convinced myself that all of my difficulties and woes were the fault of Emmett Gribben. Once you start off with the idea that whatever happened couldn't have been my fault, then you have to look for somebody else to blame it on. And I blamed it on Emmett Gribben. I went through a little extra work, not happily, but I did it. Graduated in 81. In 1983, my mother's father died. And I went to do the funeral. Mom called and said they would like to use the 28 book. Is that okay with you? Yes, ma'am. That's fine. The funeral service was at St. Stephen's in Eutaw, Alabama. And the interment would be in the courtyard behind St. Mark's in Bologee, Alabama. You know where Bologee is. It's 11 miles west of Eutaw. And it was raining. And we waited for everybody to get there. And an old priest with a black umbrella and a black overcoat, a little bitty man, came up and said that my grandfather was a good friend of his. And I said, oh, well, I'm glad. And he wondered if he could say a few words. And I told him I would be glad to. And it's raining, and it's February, so you don't want to say a whole lot. You know how these old priests are. And he quoted, "O God, our help in ages past, our help for years to come. Be thou our shelter in stormy blast and our eternal home." I kind of messed that up, but he didn't mess it up. He did all 4 verses by memory. And I was so impressed. And afterward, I went and shook his hand and thanked him for coming and told him how much I appreciate his friendship with my grandfather. And I introduced myself. Well, you've already seen the end of the story. It was Emmett Gribben. The villain. The guy that I had hated for all this time. That almost ruined my life. Turned out to be a sweet little old man with an amazing memory and a big heart. I think that's the challenge of the church. To get past the news broadcasts and see around the newspaper headlines and engage people as children of God. And actually, the fact that we disagree about some things just makes it a more interesting relationship. If we can just get past our need to be better than somebody else. If we can just get past the labels that we put on each other. I grew up in this church. I was baptized in that baptismal font. I was confirmed at that altar rail. I was ordained right there. The Sloan family sat in pew number 19 every Sunday of the world. And Miss Glowbottom would tell me about that stained glass window with an anchor in it. So that when it came time for me to get my fancy bishop ring, I wanted to put an anchor on the side. Because Glowbottom said, that's a symbol of hope. And I think that's one of the best gifts we have. Miss Glowbottom and Miss Joe Todd would tell me about those windows back there and how they were very controversial in their day. That some of the folks in town thought that this church was too liberal to let go of the recent conflict so quickly, and that we dishonored the valiant efforts of our boys in gray. I grew up looking through those windows and recognizing that reconciliation is part of the work we do together. Now, I still get aggravated when I listen to the evening news. And I spend a lot of time pulling for my team. But I have to remind myself, and I want to remind you, that we are not given permission to hate anybody for any reason, ever. There ain't nobody no better than you. And that's good news. And you ain't no better than nobody else. And that's good news too. Thanks be to God.
Amen.
Thank you for the picture.
My pleasure.
I'll invite us for 60 seconds of silence, breathing deep in this wonderful house of prayer. Or maybe after that amazing gumbo is phase 3. We'll move from this space and gather back in around round tables. Let me just introduce Jerry and Andy real quick. Jerry, you mind coming up? And Andy, you mind coming up? Let me just read a little bit about their journey. Andy Taggart has a long history involvement in the Republican Party, both nationally and locally. He went to Mississippi College, went to law school at Tulane, Chief of Staff, Kirk Fordyce, worked with other governors, highly involved in Mississippi, just ran for Attorney General.
You had to bring that up.
Thank you for your courage. Jerry Nash. Jerry Nash has long been a political advocate on the Democratic Party, worked with Ray Mavis. I knew Jerry when he was serving soup at the Stew Pot. He worked there with my wife, Ann. Jerry is a Mississippian. He's from Greenville. Jerry, where did you go to college?
Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech. Now y'all both live in Jackson, right? Good. Yes. Okay, so they're going to tell more of their story as we move in here. So this is phase 3. And then phase 4 is a party favor, okay? So we do want to invite you back, and this is not your normal worship space, to see when the sun's coming through those windows on a Sunday morning is really powerful to always come back here. So, Jerry and Andy, would you all lead us back into the